Mr. Secretary, what is the estimated capital need of the New York City Housing Authority's public housing stock
The estimated capital need of their public housing stock?
in New York City?
Well, I know they had about 597,000 units as we speak.
What's the estimated capital need? What would it take to bring the New York City Housing Authority's public housing stock into a state of good repair?
That's a great question, sir. I can get that answer for you, but what I do know and what I have been
The
reading
answer
on
is 80 billion. The answer is 80
about
billion.
250 million in
80
arrears
billion.
already.
How much annual
Sorry, sir,
capital
can you repeat
funding?
that?
Sir, let me ask my question.
Okay.
How much annual capital funding does NYCHA receive from HUD?
I'll get that for you, sir.
It's around $700 to $800 million per year.
Okay.
And so at a rate of $800 million a year, how long would it take to address an $80 billion capital need? I'll give you your hint. It's 80 billion divided by 800 million.
Sir, I was writing down a note. I'm sorry for the
So
delay.
at current funding levels, it would take a century to address the capital need at the New York City Housing Authority.
I understand.
Do you believe that an annual appropriation of 800 million is sufficient to address a capital need of $80 billion?
What I do believe is $800 million a year is sufficient to take care of the needs that NYCHA has. What I need NYCHA to do is to be
You
better
think 800
stewards.
million is sufficient to address a capital need of 80
It's
billion?
sufficient to carry out the job they need.
Do you believe 100 years? Let me finish my question.
Do
Do you believe 100 years is a reasonable timeline to bring public housing into a state of good repair for hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers?
Again, what I'm going to say is this. The funds that NYCHA has, it's not a funding issue, sir. It's a stewardship issue. NYCHA's about $250 million in arrears already.
Right, $800 million
it's
in
not
annual
about-
funding for an $80 billion capital
It's
need.
not about the money, sir, that they get. It's not about the amount. It's about the management of it.
I mean, 100 years is a long time. I mean, it makes a 50-year mortgage look like a short-term commitment, and that 100-year estimate understates the true depth of the crisis because the capital need, as you know, is not static. Buildings continue to age, systems continue to fail, deferred maintenance compounds over time, all while HUD remains content to keep public housing in a state of demolition by neglect. I have a question about home ownership. What is the median age of a first-time home buyer in America?
It's 40 years right now.
40. And suppose that buyer takes out a 50-year mortgage. How old would that home buyer be at the end of the loan? I'm a first-time home buyer at 40 years old. Yep.
Mr. Penn, make sure his microphone's working. Could we stop the clock, please?
It's divine intervention.
Just a moment, Mr. Torres, just a quick check on the mic. Your time is,
Reminds me of Greek tragedy when there's divine intervention to save the...
And nothing wrong with that microphone. Ain't nothing wrong with that microphone. That's clever.
Mr. Secretary, could we ask you just to
Yeah, it came.
slide over there real quick?
It's working.
Oh, it's working, okay.
So I'll start the question.
right.
What is the median age of a first-time home buyer in America?
40.
Okay. And suppose that buyer takes out a 50-year mortgage. How old would that buyer be at the end of the loan?
90.
90, okay. What is the average life expectancy in the United States?
You tell me. I think it's around 77 for men.
78. So under Donald Trump's vision of a 50-year mortgage, the typical first-time home buyer would not live long enough to fully own their home, dying 12 years before the mortgage matures. In Donald Trump's America, mortgages would have longer life expectancies than first-time home buyers. Is it generally true in mortgage markets that longer loan terms carry higher interest rates?
Mr. Torres, the 50-year mortgage was an idea that was presented. I don't believe that it is the
That is not
president's,
responsive to the question I just asked.
so
I'm
I-
asking, is it generally true in mortgage markets that longer loan terms carry higher interest rates? It's a yes or no question.
Yes, sir, I believe that is true.
Yes,
But
so by
this
way of
50-year
example,
the 50-year mortgage.
By way
is
of
not-
example,
that was just an
let me
idea.
finish
That's
my.
not a policy.
You
of
answered
the
my
president.
question. So by way of example, a 30-year mortgage is typically offered at a higher interest rate than a 15-year mortgage, correct?
No.
A 30-year mortgage does not have a higher interest rate than a 15-year mortgage?
Depends on the lender, sir.
What is the average rate for a 30-year mortgage at the moment?
Right now, I believe it's 5.8%.
According to the Freddie Mac survey, as of January 15, 2026, the average rate is 6.06%. What is the average rate for a 15-year mortgage?
I believe the 30 years at 5.8%, sir. I can get the average
So
of
the Freddie Mac survey says the 15 years 5.38%. So that's a difference of 68 basis points between a 30-year mortgage and a 50-year mortgage.
Mr. Torres, I actually, this is a
Congressman
housing
Torres, yeah.
affordability hearing. So if we can get to that part.
I mean, home ownership is relevant to housing affordability, right?
Indeed.
Interest rates are relevant to housing
You know,
affordability.
and the interest rates have come down since we've come into the
Whether you're in a lifetime of debt because
were
you're paying
at an
off a
all-time
15-year mortgage
high.
is relevant to housing affordability.
interest rates were at an all-time high.
You need to
before
probably
we
define
came.
what
Now they're
affordability
lower.
means to you, so.
I think we can agree on that. They're lower.
You can learn about testing and about affordability.